All right, what's up, guys? So, Strange Darling. When a one night stand sparks the start of a serial killer's last killing spree, we're put literally right in the middle of it all. And this movie is directed by J.T. Molnar, starring Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. I'm not familiar with J.T. Molnar at all. I don't think he's done much before this. And I'm also completely unfamiliar with Willa Fitzgerald. But Kyle Gallner, he was in Smile a couple years ago. He's been in Scream 6. He was in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake back in 2010. And I love him. I think he's awesome. I think he should be in more horror movies in general. And this movie really came out of nowhere. I heard about it maybe like a week ago. I don't think I ever saw a trailer for it. I maybe had once, but I completely forgot about it. So this movie surprised the hell out of me. Now let's start off with the positives for this movie. From the very first shot, I was completely hooked. It completely sucks you in. I went in completely blind, and I think that is without a doubt the best way to go see this movie. Not only the first shot, but the first scene. They just immediately throw you in to this chase sequence between the two main characters. The lady and the demon are their names. And just immediately throw you into this car chase sequence. And it's loud, it's intense, it's filmed great, the engines are revving, and you just feel everything. It was awesome. And I can't really say much about this movie without giving away spoilers because of the nonlinear structure and just the fact that this movie relies so heavily on you going as blind as possible. But I will say, this movie has so many twists and turns. Even me just saying that, you're still just not gonna know what the fuck is gonna happen. And that's the biggest positive. When you think you have this movie figured out, it just completely makes a U-turn and just throws whatever you thought completely out the window. Much like Barbarian, and I believe the same people who produced Barbarian did this movie. And it's very similar in the fact that you just never know where it's going to go. And it was so much fun to watch. The first twist happens and you're like, oh, okay, fuck yeah, let's go. And then another twist happens, and then something else happens, and something else happens, and boom, it just keeps going left and right, and it just absolutely completely subverts your expectations almost, I mean, very frequently. It's not cliche. There's basically no tropes that happen, which I very much appreciated, and it just keeps you guessing. I mean, every second it keeps you guessing, every single second of the movie, what the fuck is going to happen next. The acting is phenomenal in this movie. Both main characters, Willa Fitzgerald and Kyle Gallner. I had never seen anything Willa Fitzgerald's done before, but she needs to be in way more movies. And her character, I don't want to spoil anything, but her character is a fucking freak. And she does amazing at it. She does a great job. And Kyle Gallner, I mean, like I said, Scream 6, Nightmare on Elm Street, Smile. He ups the ante in this. And the best part about this non-linear story structure that it does is it completely reconfigures the first parts of this movie when you were so convinced of what was happening, when you were so locked in and you thought you knew everything, but you don't. The score is awesome as well. It's extreme, it's prevalent throughout the whole runtime, and it just adds a layer of intensity to it all. Specifically one character. Whenever he shows up on screen, it's just this heart pounding like dun whenever he shows up, and it's almost like a character device in adding to his demeanor. There's gore in this movie. It's a little sparse, there's not too much of it, but when there is, it's awesome. It catches you completely off guard, and it's used perfectly. And the last positive is the way this movie was shot. It's shot completely on 35 millimeter film, and it just looks fantastic. It looks great. It completely blends in with the tone and the style and the vibe that they're going for in this movie. It adds that, grittiness to it. And I think if it was shot on digital, I don't think that it would nearly be as effective and intense as it was when it was shot on film. Now, for the mixed aspects of this movie, there's really not a lot. I don't think there's really any negatives. There's this hotel scene towards the middle of the movie, and it kind of feels like it's dragging a little bit, like it's a little slow, but I don't necessarily think it is. I just think this movie starts off with such a bang, and that it can't really keep that level of intensity throughout the whole movie. So once that kind of slows down and you're starting to get into more of the story and figure out what's happening, it just kind of feels like it's dragging a little bit, but I don't think it really is. And nothing's gonna beat seeing this for the first time, specifically because of the non-linear story structure that it has. The rewatch value just goes all the way down because the first scene, it's not gonna be nearly as intense because you already know what's going on. But I think that's where the movie benefits, in the fact that this movie was told non-linear. Because if it had a linear structure to it, I don't think it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be as fun to watch, as intense. It wouldn't have your mind, going a million different places, wondering, what's going to happen next? Where is this going? What's going on? And that's the whole point of the movie. That's the whole fun of it all. And I think the non-linear structure was just a genius decision. So yeah, overall, guys, this movie is fantastic. It's great. It surprised the hell out of me. Go in as blind as possible, just like I did, which I'm very grateful for, and just enjoy the thrill ride that it puts you on. It's a basic nonstop thrill ride with amazing performances. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, guessing, subverting your expectations at every corner, and I'm going to give this movie an easy 9 out of 10. But yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.